Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I decided to take a look at another shoe0nhead video that I haven't seen before. Granted, the male loneliness epidemic was actually the first video I've ever seen, and I'm completely new to the rest of her content in general. And one of them that piqued my interest was how to be a real man. Now, obviously, this is going to be a controversial take considering how she's been pitching her videos so far, but I figured we'd dive in, react, give our perspective and thoughts, as well as have that conversation in the comment section. So without further ado, let's get into it. How to be a real man.
Men. What are they? For centuries, us women have tried to figure them out. Such strange, fascinating creatures. But recently, men have been in a crisis. Sperm count is low. Liberalism is high. Testosterone is decreasing. Soy is increasing. The femboy population is skyrocketing. Instead of chopping wood and hunting mammoths, men are throwing on thigh-high socks and cat ears. The question on everyone's mind is, how do we stop this epidemic? How do we save men?
Saving, huh?
Well, today we're finally going to get answers, because I looked for them in the most knowledgeable, reliable, and trustworthy place on Earth, the internet. The internet is a great place to find cringe for you guys, but it is also a dangerous and scary place. What is a man? A man is somebody who kills the bugs, opens the jars, and dies in the wars. That is a man. Some people will say the correct way to be a man is to be protective and strong and blah 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 blah. Others, however, will say being a man is about drinking your coffee black and not playing video games. Grown men should not be playing video games past the age of 12. Video games are for children. Men who say they want a gamer girlfriend are gay. If you want a girlfriend who plays video games, just date a man. Fellas, is it gay to want a girlfriend who shares interests with you?
I think we've kind of progressed along certain dimensions to know that everyone has hobbies, and as long as they do not have a lot of neglect in their life, they can kind of entertain whatever hobby they want. It really doesn't matter what it is. I think the issue is not, oh, gaming means this. I think that having neglect in your life is typically the detriment. And if you allow certain hobbies or interests to kind of, consume you a bit, then I think that's when it's a problem. It doesn't really matter what it is, man. Do whatever decompresses. Essentially, that's what it's there for, is to decompress.
With you. Men will spend 6 hours a day playing Call of Duty instead of signing up to join the real army and serve their country. I would serve myself rat poison before I served this country. If you're a man dating a woman who—
then don't be here. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that talk on the military service as a whole. Do I think that the military service as a whole is a good representation of the United States? No. I think that with all the meme videos that we see, all the TikTok videos that we see lately, it kind of discriminates a bit on those who do serve. But at the same time, if you're not doing the task and you're not doing the job, I don't think it's wise to bash the people that do. I don't care what standard or whatever they stand on. Like, obviously, we have high value people that serve and low value people. And essentially what that means is their efficacy in the service itself. Now, you may disagree with why people serve and the state of this country, then that's to each their own, but this is a choice that was made, and I guess the overarching point is just respect it. And if you don't respect it, then essentially it's not your business anyways.
who plays video games, you probably get pegged by her too. I'm sure some of them like that. Grown-ass men that play video games, ask yourself this: when's the last time you've been laid? It is so cool how technology has just improved so much. It is really cool how we can see tweets made in 1998. Men who collect things creep me out. What do you need 300 Pokemon cards for? Okay, so first of all, 300 Pokemon cards is not that many Pokemon cards. I think I have more than 300 Pokemon cards, and I organize them from cutest to ugliest. Second of all, how many shoes do you think this woman owns? What's with the sudden trend of grown men playing with children's toys? Do these men also make spaceshipy sounds when playing with them? Hashtag manchild. And you can't see it because it's censored, but they added Lauren Chen here. Like, is this attractive? Mommy, is this attractive? Mommy, sorry, mommy. Also, building models, I feel like that's a very normal male hobby to have. No hobby is masculine or feminine, but if we are doing this shit, I think building things is pretty
That's not necessarily true. I believe that there are hobbies that have a better masculine standpoint because it's along those dimensions versus feminine standpoints. Like I think fostering and nurturing something, or a nurturing based hobby like gardening, I feel like that's very feminine. I think, and that's not to say that men can't do it, but I think that, like gardening, for an example, fostering something, allowing it to grow and nurturing it and having that consistent effort towards it, I feel like that's very feminine. I feel like that's because it's very replicative of a woman in a relationship and how she fosters her relationship into something beautiful and strong and powerful, and I think that as an example is a clear-cut way.
Masculine. Like, is society in general not just men building things? Then someone asked this guy a valid question. Please provide your list of acceptable leisure activities that meet your approval. And this is what this dude said. Changing the oil in the car, upgrading the RAM in the family computer, doing the laundry, reading, writing, making chili or soup, home repair, playing soccer/rugby/football/hockey.
I make a lot of chili, man. I'm guilty.
Most of these are just chores. Oh boy, can't wait to change the oil in the car. Updating RAM on the family computer. Oh god, I remember having a family computer. I remember not knowing how to delete the history off the family computer. Nothing more soy than grown men obsessed with a sports team. Men with a favorite sports team are highly unattractive to me. A man is supposed to dominate his field, conquer resources, ravage his opponents, and bring glory to his name and family, and here he is, watching and cheering on other men doing just that. A masculine cuckery. Calling people men who watch dudes in tights chase a ball around a field covered in woke messaging while our country goes up in flames might be a stretch. Your country is being...
Now, this video came out a year ago. I think it does get to a certain point where people are just thinking too damn hard about it. There seems to be a running theme with a lot of these posts, and that's my answer to a lot of the same stuff. It's like, you're thinking of, what are you doing with that energy, and why isn't it focused on you, is my question. You got these theories based on whole cultures of people. What are you doing about yourself?
Invaded and destroyed, and you're watching sports ball? Sad. Like, what do these guys do all day for fun? The only acceptable manly activity to some of these people is like making fun of 15-year-olds on TikTok who are experimenting with their gender identity. I feel like it's really not that deep. Like, we've always been a very competitive species. We used to watch people fight in like coliseums. We used to watch men get ripped apart by lions in coliseums. Now we watch stickball, or we watch two nerds debate about politics on Twitch. That is our modern day coliseum. UK builders go woke. Study finds 3/4 of tradesmen discuss their feelings with colleagues, while 2/3 shun their fried breakfasts, and nearly half say they are history buffs. What the fuck does going woke mean anymore? Fellas, is it woke to have friends and like history? No airbags, we die like real men. Went on a date with a man who got in our Uber and instantly put on a seatbelt. The date went okay and he was sweet, but I ghosted him. I could not get the image of him wearing a seatbelt out of my mind. Feminine. If you're a grown-ass man and you wear a seatbelt in the passenger seat, you are likely to be a raging homosexual. Fellas, is it gay to not want to die in a car accident? Speaking of...
There's a lot of insecure men out there. If your focus of your level of manhood is dictated by whether you click a mechanism or not, you got a lot of work to do. You gotta look up in that mirror. Look at that face. You got some work to do. Because if that is your highest concern, your range of development seems very poor. Because if that's what it means to be a man, is to not wear your seatbelt, I feel like anyone can achieve that, which makes it less valuable. It makes it valueless, actually. There's more to it. And I think being responsible and accountable based on the environments that you put yourself in is very important.
Seatbelts. I actually found out recently that when seatbelts were first invented, there was like this whole anti-seatbelt movement of people that were just like, I will not wear my seatbelt. The government can't force me to wear a seatbelt. And when I pointed this out online, like 50 of my own fans were like, Shoe, this would have been you. And like, fair enough. The sudden trend of men being attracted to female asses is part of the homosexual agenda. Men and women have asses. If they can get you attracted to asses, what's stopping you from being attracted to a man's ass?
Female figure? Was that not obvious? Or just feminine figures in general? Because it's severely different? Ah, man.
Yes! If a man prefers tits over ass, I just assume he is gay or at least bisexual. Real men prefer ass over tits. Once a man has reached puberty, he should find the breasts of a woman repulsive. They are meant to feed babies. You are no longer a baby. Grow up. Can't like a woman's ass. Can't like a woman's tits. You're gay no matter what. All roads lead to gay. Restaurants? Soy. Bars? Soy. Everything people do to have fun is based around soy. Nature? Chad. Buying big ass steaks and eating them raw in the park? Chad. I would call the cops on you if I saw that. Yes, hello, there is a strange man eating raw meat in the park around my children. Men don't wear dresses or drink from straws. Watching YouTube videos is a female trait. Men who watch YouTube might as well be women. Well,
It seems like there's more stuff that didn't age well because YouTube is a male predominant platform. And it's, yeah.
Put on the dress. Men should dress like men and women should dress like women. Culture is clearly trying to blur these lines and Christians should exemplify the distinctions. Ladies, wear dresses often, keep your hair long, and stay healthy. Men, ditch the gay look, grow a beard, and get strong. Ah yes, nothing gay men hate more.
Beard, subjective. If you want to grow facial hair, by all means. I think that there is a keen point about being presentable. Depending on the environment that you put yourself in, I think that you always represent you. Now, does that mean, oh, you're requesting people to be shallow? No, I think that first impressions are very important, and I think that the way you present yourself, especially if it's in a professional standing and you go up looking like a bum, I mean, obviously the first impression is that you're a bum. You can say you're complaining about, well, you know, that's not fair, people are judgmental. It's like, yeah, the world's not fair, and to play that card is kind of silly, especially in this day and age.
Than strong men with beards. Men who grow beards are insecure and want to feel more masculine because inside they don't feel masculine. Men need to come to grips with the fact that we've all committed sexual assault on women. Men in the comments section, comment if you've never committed a sexual assault on a woman. Like this video if you've never committed.
I feel like this is a lot of people just desperately seeking a community to belong to, and so if they can't find that community, they just criticize everybody else. I think it's just
sexual assault on a woman. Subscribe to this channel if you've never committed sexual assault on a woman. No grown man should be drinking margaritas. Men drinking cocktails, it's not big and it's not clever. It makes ye look like an absolute tit. And birds drinking pints makes ye look like a lorry driver. This is the most British shit I've ever heard in my life. I need a translator. Something that gives me the ick is men drinking hot drinks.
If you're focused on the aesthetic of men, here's the truth. You're probably never going to become a man because you're too focused on the aesthetic and not the internal. That's where it starts. Aesthetic is easy to change. You can swap out that cocktail for a beer any day. That doesn't make you a man. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things. So some of these comments though, man.
Grown men shouldn't be getting nothing from the ice cream truck. I still get excited.
You got kids? You got a family? Yeah, you're gonna put your order in. I don't give a damn.
When I hear the ice cream truck. Also, I just need to know, what are y'all choosing? I'm going with the SpongeBob one. Every time. If you are a male and go to any restaurant and ask for a milkshake, you are gay. Real men do not drink coffee, especially not iced coffee or flavored coffee. That is sus. If I see a gentleman drinking tea, I assume he is a homosexual.
Another concept out of touch. Samurai drink tea. Most sophisticated warriors on the planet drink tea. We have devolved.
To be honest, I've said it before, tea is gay coffee. Men who drink juice, suspect as hell. I go to Starbucks solely to see the embarrassment on the eyes of the grown man who orders a low-fat, iced latte frap, frou-frou blah blah when he looks up and sees me taking a sip of my straight black coffee with no cream or sugar. And then everyone on the train clapped, looks up at you and sees you. This is the start of some, like, yaoi fanfiction or
That's like it's an actual psychological phenomenon. I'm glad I was able to capture it. It's an inferiority complex. Is by definition someone who is constantly comparing themselves to others in hopes that they are the greater. Inferiority complex. People that are confident don't find themselves comparing unless they're in competition with others. So an actual designated environment, in specific terms or simple terms, it could be like an actual race, physical race, or educational system. You're putting two papers forward and you're competing with another student, then by all means. But confidence is a state that you're not on a constant comparison to others. Inferiority complex is essentially when people feel the need to do so, and they do so impulsively without control.
Something. Beta males go to hipster coffee shops for a dirty chai soy latte, while alpha males go to Hooters and drink beer and watch hockey. The beta male left can attack me all they want. I will never apologize for being an alpha male who eats at Hooters. Going to Hooters is a gender-affirming experience? Do men eat raspberries? Men? Do you eat raspberries? Ain't no real man about to sit around and eat a feminine ass food like hummus. I love how so much of this just like has to do with food and drinks. Just made up arbitrary rules about what is and what is not masculine food. Like, are boneless chicken wings masculine food? Better question, are boneless chicken wings chicken nuggets? Leftist men are not real men. Leftist males are a bunch of beta losers. The reason why I say males is because I would not consider a leftist male a man. Leftist males are not real men. Simple.
I think the overarching theme in regards to left or men on the left is just because of there's just a pretty nasty stereotype revolving around men on the left right now. And it's because you have such powerful people on the right, and not even hard right or extreme right, that are far more powerful speakers. And so you compare people on the other side of the spectrum to people like Jordan Peterson, for example, who is a conservative psychologist. It kind of dwindles a little bit when you look at the left.
I don't know, like Joseph Stalin was pretty manly. I like how in order to find
Joseph Stalin was a complete crazy person.
One example of like a masculine leftist man, I have to like take out a history book and this shit is so dumb though. Like this idea that all conservative men are like hyper masculine and like no leftist men are masculine, like it doesn't hold up. Obviously there are masculine leftist men. Liberal men, however, men are capitalists.
Yeah, there you go. I guess that's mainly the way. You have your democratic men on the left, and then you have your liberal men on the left, and then I feel like that does kind of separate the categories a little bit, and you're more likely to run into certain type of men in that side, I think is really what the case is.
Feminine men are socialists. The two genders. In reality, conservative men are the most effeminate men when you really think about it. I mean, authoritarianism in general is kind of subby. Oh, you want the state to control you? You want to lick the boot? Bottom behavior. Leftism lowers your testosterone. Racism increases your testosterone. The two political parties, leftism and racism. Any man whose heart is melted by a woman is no man at all. Fellas, is it gay to fall in love? Eating girls out.
That next post totally threw me off. Holy crap. There was actually a point in that last post. That's the crazy part, is that there's a very ironic point in this, and it's the fact that should a man become completely submissive, and that's the way I'm defining melted, is if a man can become completely submissive to a woman, in a sense his heart is melted by definition, is no man at all. And I think that actually bodes some truth. There's a little bit of truth there, because if a man allows himself to be the lesser in a relationship and not the equal or greater, it does stand to say that you haven't really developed along certain dimensions in that regard, because even if you were someone to develop further, you would at least appear as equal to a woman, if not greater, right? And I think that if you fail to do that, then you probably got a lot of work to do, or you're aiming way too high for yourself, and there's a lot of work nonetheless to be done. Found that very interesting.
Heart is melted by a woman is no man at all. Fellas, is it gay to fall in love? Eating?
And that's why it's like, it's not necessarily falling in love. I think falling in love is a 2-point consistency, one by the man and by the woman. Being completely submissive and falling for a woman when there's no return, I think that's probably a different story.
Girls out is submissive. You are what you eat. If you as a man eat pussy, you are one. Licking coochie is worse than cocaine addiction. Eating pussy is so childish. Eating pussy is too submissive for me. It feels gay. Literally, fellas, is it gay to eat pussy? Real men eat ass. A real man does not eat ass. Getting mixed messages here. Face-sitting, cowgirl, and any other position with a woman on top are fundamentally acts of homosexuality. Fellas, is it homosexual to have heterosexual sex? A penis has muscle tissue. The more you use it, the stronger and bigger it becomes. The vagina is elastic. If you overuse it, it will lose its elasticity and become a borehole. A This is muscle tissue. The more you use it, the stronger and bigger it becomes.
There's a
Getting
whole
big
lot of education
gains
going
at
on.
the gym. Don't skip day, bro. So this isn't even true. This is the truth. Ladies, if he's had more than 3 sexual partners, he got a string bean. A man having the TikTok app is one thing, but making TikToks, what the act?
My point on the sexual stuff is keep it exclusive. Who cares what y'all do? That's y'all's business, and I think that needs to remain as a business for y'all. The second you start blasting out what y'all do, I mean, you kind of ruin the exclusivity and intimacy of y'all's relationship. And for people that take pride in talking about that kind of stuff with others, keep in mind that relationships are sacred, especially if you care for them in general. And I think that the more we blast that shit outside, we kind of penetrate that intimacy a bit. You know what I mean? We kind of crack that cage in a way, that sacred environment, if you will.
Actual hell is that? You know what? I actually agree with this one. TikTok. And I'm not just saying that because I do not understand TikTok and I don't know how to navigate it or use it. Or men with long hair are not men. If I bend you over and you look like a woman from behind, you are not a man or you are gay. Wait a minute. If you bend a man over, they are gay.
Educate yourselves. Some of these posts look like they're written by a 5-year-old.
If you are depressed as a man, you have failed as a man. This is why so many depressed men are choosing to become women. Think about why you never see emo boys anymore. Because they're all trans women. Trans agenda has stolen our emo boys. If you are a man over 30 and you have time to maintain more than 5 friendships, I mean real friendships, you are either a loser, groomer, or gay. Fellas, is it gay to have friends? Smiling too.
I think that you just kind of develop a certain dimension, and I think that in that development, you tend to take less. You tend to be tolerable to less because you start to realize that as you get into the stride of your own life, you have time to put up with less, and if things don't align with the direction that you're going, you're better off without it. Hence why men, as they get older, tend to lose friends. I think the reason why women lose friends as they get older is because they tend to foster the relationships that they've established with their loved one as they grow older, and they kind of separate because as they transcend with the men that they have chosen, they become less and less like the women that they left behind. And I think that happens on the spectrum of men and women. And to kind of retain relationships is to kind of stop your growth unless they are part of your growth is essentially what I'm saying.
Much is beta, and women know that men who smile frequently signal to other men that they are not a threat. Better smile less or smirk without showing teeth, as this is more alpha. Smirk without showing teeth? What, do like the DreamWorks smirk? If you are above the age of 27 and not making 6 figures a year, you should be forced to transition into a woman because it is over for you. The forced feminization of working class men.
Ain't never too late to make it. No matter what time you start, no matter what day you start, whatever day you decide to start, you keep going, you're going to be fine.
Joe Biden's America. Large penises are seen as desirable is just another symptom of Western degeneration. Large penises are a sign of low intelligence and savage genetics. Small penises indicate high intelligence and aristocratic blood. Whatever makes you feel better, bro. Whoa equals masculine. Wow equals feminine. Racist white dudes be like, here's my top 25 films. These are like very normal, good movies.
What's wrong with The Dark Knight?
These are very like popular, critically acclaimed.
Yo, what's wrong with Fight Club? Goddamn.
Movie. The Matrix? Racist white dudes? Liking Inglourious Bastards? The movie where they kill Nazis? That one? Also, women have no f***ing room to talk. Don't go around calling Pulp Fiction and Fight Club red flag movies when your ass is binge watching serial killer documentaries. Men, it is effeminate and weak.
How true. Holy crap. It's because they're planning.
To ask a woman on a date. A real man does not ask, he takes what is rightfully his. No, don't do that. No. Ancient men, sent to war on behalf
How entitled, right?
of the
Happens on both genders.
empire at age 15. Leaned, jacked, sunned balls. Modern men, beg for women's appreciation, pale, depressed, fat. Ask for permission before... A real man just pisses everywhere while making eye contact. Jacked body, calm mind. Sunned balls. Strong family, confident mindset, sharp and... I feel like if you find this attractive, you are pretty much gay, but don't want the stigma that goes along with it. The muscle waifu psyop is real. They got you thirsting for women with male bodies. They want to turn you gay. Liking muscle mommies or strong women is gay. Fellas, is it gay to like hot women? If you like pick A over pick B, you are in fact socially engineered or slightly homosexual. Okay, hot take, but both are good. Hi, progressive leftists. Hi. If your idea of a man is sitting around in your skinny jeans, sipping on a grande peppermint mocha made with soy topped off with whip, then you do you. I'm going to do me, which is a God-fearing American who loves his country and flag. Okay.
It's kind of cringe when it's a little over the top. Like, was any of that necessary? Did you have to announce that you're a God-fearing American? Just be a God-fearing American. I think that living in that aspect is enough. To put it on social media is, I don't know.
Why is it always coffee? Why is it always Starbucks latte? I haven't brushed my teeth in over a week. I rarely brush my teeth. Feels gay. Ladies, if you want to find out if your man is gay, check the back of his toilet seat. If that shit ain't dirty, he is bisexual at least. If you wipe your ass with baby wipes and you're not a girl, you are borderline bisexual. Please, for the love of...
I know a lot of people in the service that are going to fight hard about that comment because we use baby wipes all the damn time. It's called field shower, and there's other less nice terms regarding that event, but that's life, man. We didn't have no water out there. You're out in the field, or you're out in deployments. You ain't got no water, man. You got baby wipes though.
God, clean your ass. It is not manly to have a shitty poopy asshole. Wash your ass. Red flags list just dropped. Let's discuss. Sagittarius or Aquarius? Astrology is just racism for white women. Thinks Kanye is a genius. Well, that one aged well. Loves Bitcoin/crypto. Okay, I actually agree with this. I had a nightmare like 2 years ago that I met this boy and he was really nice, and then he started showing me like his little...
Has abs. Workaholic. Doesn't pay for your Uber to and from his... You know what type of woman this is.
NFT monkeys on his phone.
What Quentin Tarantino movies, man? What's wrong?
Literally had a nightmare. It's from New Jersey. Okay, I agree with that too. New Jersey is New York's dump. Has abs. Not a big fan of abs, but I don't see how that's a red flag. Only has one pillow. I mean, it's not a big deal if he has one pillow. It is a big deal if he has a yellow pillow. Ladies, what gives you the ick? When he's born in June. A man born anywhere from February 19th to March 20th does not sit right with me. Why, as a man, are you born in June? There's something about men being born between March and August that makes me sick, man. There's something very unmasculine about men who aren't born in October through December. When a man tells me his birthday is in July, I look at him sideways like, are you a girl? Fellas, is it gay to be born? It really is racism for women. A man has no time for happiness. Happiness is for women and children. I feel like according to these people, like the rules of being a man are just like, be miserable, drink and eat only red meat and tar, go to work, do nothing fun ever, never wash your ass, and die in a car accident. The most masculine thing to me is honestly just like not giving a fuck. Just not giving a fuck about what other people think. Just doing and eating whatever you want. To me personally, it would just be a huge turnoff if a guy was like, oh no, I'm not drinking that margarita, that's a girly drink. Like, are you 12 years old? They just have like a child's idea of what it is to be like a grown-up and be a man. It also just reeks of insecurity. Like, why are you that afraid of looking gay? I don't get it. So that was my little fun video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please consider donating to my Patreon to help out the channel, link down below. Oh, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will see you guys with a new video soon.
So that was the video by shoe0nhead. Obviously, seems like the perspective of male or masculinity is purely based on aesthetic, which is very unfortunate because, like I said previously, if your focus is on aesthetic, then that means that your development is measured by aesthetic as well. And to think that if I change how I'm viewed or how I do this and how it's perceived, that makes me more of a man. And I'm gonna tell you right now that you couldn't be more wrong. I think that there's a lot of men out there that have developed along a masculine dimension. And let me tell you, their confidence means that they don't care about the aesthetic. There's even components where sitting cross-legged is deemed feminine. When you have great masculine minds that do the same thing, I think the measure of what is masculine is completely skewed to aesthetic because that's easier. And when you try to develop along an easy dimension, I'm gonna tell you right now, that stuff never stays. And I think that we need to start looking a little more inward in regards to how things feel and how we conduct ourselves. Going back to the inferiority complex, this is probably the most common theme of men that are insecure. And the one thing that I'm gonna say is pay attention, because this is an attack, but pay attention. The reason why I'm saying pay attention is because you need to realize your own patterns of behavior. You need to realize your own mannerisms. Do you find yourself doing these kind of things? Do you find yourself sharing these kind of perspectives? If you do, then it's very likely that you share that aesthetic idea. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that means nothing. You don't mean nothing. The idea and that belief that this aesthetic is what dictates your value as a man and your masculinity as a man is what is valueless. And I think that the second we start casting that away and we start realizing that developing ourselves along a masculine dimension is far more important when we work on it internally, that stays, right? We build something with concrete, that concrete dries, and then we make it more and we progress more. There's actually a Q&A where I answer what is masculinity in one of my previous videos. And for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, I recommend that you go check it out. But at the end of the day, we need to work on our inner selves before we ever put out any kind of perspective and aesthetic about what masculinity is. How to Be a Real Man was a very interesting title for the video, but I'm gonna tell you like this. The best man that you can be can only be measured against yourself. Stop looking up to other people. If you want to pull certain values and you like the way that they do things, sure, try it out. But do not mimic that person. You don't need to become that person because that person will always be different from you. No matter what kind of mentor they are, no matter what kind of leader they are, you need to be the best you. And the more you try to take from other people in regards to development, the more you're going to be lost because you're not them. You need to develop along your own dimension in order to be the best man that you can be a real man for yourself. Because by developing that, can you become something that can foster a household, that can foster a family, wife, kids, community, right? And be that essential leader in your own right. because in that is where we're grounded, and in that do we establish confidence in our own disciplines and consistencies. With that, we kind of stop caring about the aesthetic. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nothing more free or freeing than not giving a damn about what people think and not giving a damn about how people view you in regards to your consistency, because you know you're doing right. And that's not an ignorant right, that's a confidence right, and it is severely different. With that being said, thank you for everyone that stuck around so far. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And if you dislike the video, then dislike it, and you'll never see me again. Also, comment in the comment section down below for any additional perspectives, any questions, any answers that you may have seen from this video yourself. I understand that it was a little bit of an older video, but like I said, this is stuff that I haven't really seen before. So forgive me if it is old, I apologize. So thanks again. Happy holidays to everyone, and I'll go ahead and see you next time.